Hi, everyone. Hello. How's everybody doing? Let me see here. 1 second, please. Okay. How's everybody? I see Starlight Glazer and T-Barb and Anne and Desiree, Pamela, Per, Denise, Francis, Twin Flames, Letitia. Hello. Hey, good vibes. Hello. See Cheryl Tyler, Meduchus, Sweet Darling Lulu. Hello, Terry. Constance, Carol, Roseanne, hello. Jane, Delilah, Debbie Ives, Renee. Let's see. Fish Wing, Janine, Sebastian, hello. Sandra Nevins. And I just got a text. Jenny just texted me. Hold on, you guys. Let me text her back. Let's see. Freda, Elena, Dorcas, Good Vibes, Tasha, Leslie, Renee, Cat Mama, Lotus Dancer, Donna Hensley, New Grandma. Hi, Carol Gallagher, Donna Yeager. Let's see. Who else is here? Teresa Baltazar. Thank you so much, Teresa. Yes, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up. That would really helps the channel. Hi, Johnny. Oh, thank you so much, Johnny. For Good Vibes, Johnny's saying that you can send it to his P.O. box. Johnny, you're the greatest. Thank you so much. I still need to get my butt over to the UPS or USPS and open myself up a P.O. box. Cheryl, Freda, Diana, Good Vibes. Let's see. Kimberly, the Square Peg. Hello. Colin, how are you? I hope it's not too late where you're at. Hope you're doing well. I've been kind of MIA the last few days. I'm still recuperating. Recuperating from the 4-day weekend. Pamela, Marie Sutton, Kate Sweetblue is saying hello to Johnny. So I haven't had... Oh, Carol saying it's 10:30 there. Oh, they're not too bad. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Purbug. So I haven't been watching too much of the news. I've been pretty busy, so I've been recording the Rachel Maddow show, and I think it's Dateline. I think, and I've just been watching them listening to them the next day while I'm at work. And oh goodness, Rachel Maddow has really been ripping Merrick Garland and the new DOJ a new a-hole. I was like, oh. So from the show that I watched today, which was last night's airing, that it sounds like she was really pissed off at Merrick Garland and the new DOJ. She was saying that the Merrick Garland DOJ will be representing Donald Trump in the case against Eugene Carroll, which basically means that that woman is going to lose the case. So she will not get justice if DOJ, every lawyer, Jill Wine-Banks, Joyce Vance, what's the other guy that used to dispute stuff at SCOTUS? Neil Katyal, Lawrence Tribe, all of the prosecutors that usually make regular appearances on MSNBC have all objected to the DOJ's stance to represent Donald Trump in that case. I guess if I'm interpreting it correctly, they're saying that it's because they are representing the office of the presidency, and the statements that he made were presidential statements. But I'm sorry, when you call a woman she's not my type, or she's ugly, or whatever, against allegations of sexual assault, that to me, in my view, is not a presidential statement. So there's all that going on. She was very livid in regards to all the other stances that the current DOJ is taking. With all of these election fraud audits by the Quackenoners, where all they did was just write a letter to tell them that, hey, you could be breaking the law, but haven't intervened. They have not intervened in any capacity to try to stop all of these voter suppression bills that are going through in all these Republican states. I mean, just a slew of stuff. She ripped him a new butthole yesterday. And then today she was on another rant, and I was like, what in the world is going on? What in the world is going on at DOJ? It makes no sense. So I wanted to ask a couple of questions about that today, or tonight. And then let's see what else. What else was she talking about? It's just, it's insanity. I wanted to look at Weiselberg, and there was another person below Weiselberg that has testified to a grand jury. I forget the man's name. Exactly, Starlight, considering that they went after Bill Clinton for having a consensual affair with Monica Lewinsky. It's insanity. What I don't understand what Merrick Garland is doing. So I wanted to look at Weiselberg, and the other dude, somebody's going to have to remind me of his name because I don't remember. And then she was ranting about how the DOJ, Merrick Garland's DOJ, is still keeping Bill Barr's little memo under wraps, even though several judges have come out and said he lied. So is it, what are they doing? Are they sweeping stuff under the rug? Like, it doesn't make sense. And she sounded very livid, because it's almost like she was speaking today about an article that came out. I don't know if she said the Washington Post or what. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch my DVR. But they had written a very lengthy article. You do not need to have a membership to read it. You can just go online and just read it. But they were, it was an article about 6 things that the DOJ can do to rectify all of the damage that Trump has done. And so she was questioning if DOJ and the Biden administration would even have the cojones to do half of that stuff. He's pushing for bipartisanship. Mitch McConnell already came out about a month ago and said, I ain't giving you jack. Joe Manchin's over there playing footsies with McConnell, and stalling everything. So it's like, what is it going to be, 3 years of just nothing happening, because even though Mitch McConnell's in the minority, he's still wielding power, and Chuck Schumer can't figure out how to pull his head out of his butt to put on the boxing gloves. You know what I mean? It's like, it's very frustrating. Especially when it's a split Senate and you got Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, which are basically Republicans. They're Democrats in name only. If you look at Manchin's record, he voted with basically, I think it was like 75 or 80% of everything that, was happening under the Trump administration. So it's quite ridiculous. And it's like the progressives are getting, the progressive caucus. Hi, John. The progressive caucus is getting really ticked off right now because it's like they've already told you they're not going to cooperate. Abolish the filibuster, reform the filibuster, or you're going to spend this is all you're going to get out of the Biden presidency, period. They've already, they wasted time trying to negotiate the infrastructure, got them down to almost nothing, and then still went against it. They're not for the Voting Rights Act. They are not for the John Lewis Act. They're not for anything. So it's like, stop. They've already told you they're not going to play. They took their ball and went home. Okay, it's their way or no way. So, there's a big fight between the progressive caucus and the establishment Democrats, and just a bunch of caca going on right now. So figured I would start with, Pramila Jayapal, who leads the progressive caucus. She's a representative out of Washington State. She's been on Rachel Maddow quite a bit, and it's like, I adore that woman. I really do. And you're right, John. You're right. With all this hemming and hawing, and we need to win the House back. Well, we gave you the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And now we're back to, we can't do anything. The hell you can't. You just choose not to. So I want to start off with asking about DOJ, but I'm not quite sure what to ask. There's going to be a lot of that going on, Renee, about, Biden lied. Not so much about the stimulus, but everything else. $15 minimum wage, can't talk about that. Green New Deal, can't talk about that. Infrastructure, can't talk about that. You know what I mean? It's like, forget it. They're not going to play. They are not going to play. Like, if it's not more tax cuts for the rich, they're not going to play. And thank you, Impish. I really appreciate that. The Dems aren't being blackmailed, Shiana. They're just, it's how they always do. They want to play nice and play by the rules. Let me tell you something. Had this been Mitch McConnell in Chuck Schumer's place right now, he would have whipped his caucus, reformed the filibuster, and rammed through everything. Mind you, my little Johnnyism's coming out. That's exactly what he did to ram through Supreme Court justices under Donald Trump. So why are we playing nice? I don't get it. It's almost like, well, let's get the people mad so we can raise a lot of money and win some elections. And then when we get into seats of power, let's not do anything. You know, you're going to, the Dems are going to end up suppressing the vote by not delivering. So I don't. So let's see about. See about why is DOJ defending Donald Trump against Eugene Carroll? Why is DOJ defending Donald Trump against Eugene Carroll? Why is DOJ defending Donald Trump against Eugene Carroll? Why is DOJ defending Donald Trump against Eugene Carroll? I'm just sick of Dem leadership. They need to go. This is almost reading like there's this here says that the focus is the insurrection. Okay. But my question is, why are they defending Donald Trump in the case against Eugene Carroll? It's to preserve the standing here. They're happy to preserve or achieve or be persistent with something that is deeply rooted and make a significant improvement here. Add one of my senators to that. What's her name? Dianne Feinstein. That lady can't find her head or her butt. She needs to go. She needs to go. I've been trying to vote that woman out the last 3 elections, and she's still there. But this is saying it'll go somewhere higher. It'll return somewhere else. It'll change and return somewhere else that'll be more important or more significant. But that doesn't make sense, because if they represent him, her case is pretty much done. Let me see. Because it'll give access here. And earlier we ended with storks. It'll give access for widespread investigations over fraudulent gossip, and that could be some sort of a win here. Okay, so it's almost like and earlier it was Storks and Key. So it's almost like they're opening up a can of worms if they don't. At least that's what this is saying, and I do not understand how. Because this is access. This is something widespread that is fraudulent here. So opening a can of worms, widespread investigations over gossip to play games and win. Does that make sense? So it's almost like if they don't do this, then later on down the roads, someone else can use it for malicious intent this way. Gaining access here for something that is fraudulent or manipulative, and it's self-serving for a win. But that still doesn't make sense to me, though, because it's like, you know, Donald Trump commits every crime in the book possible. You know, Don McGahn just testified and all that stuff. So we're going to set the precedent that, well, we don't want to investigate a former president and have the federal government go after a former president, because then when the Republicans are in office, they'll do it back to us when you get another AG like William Barr. Do you see what I'm saying? It's almost like they're sweeping it under the rug to not themselves set the precedent for the other party doing it to them, because we all know the other party's back crap crazy. It still doesn't make sense, because whether they do it or not, if there's a Republican House and Senate and a Democratic president, they will do that. They will. They'll do it to us anyways. Exactly, John. Exactly. At this point, it's no holds bar, hang on to power and take it, no matter what dirty tricks you got to play, you're going to play for the GOP, you know? So let me see here. But see, Colin, I agree with you, but it's almost like if you don't deal with them, you're giving them license to do it again and do it worse. Does that make sense? Let me see here. Hold on, I just got a text message. Let me ask this question. Hold on. I forgot what I was asking because I was looking at the text message. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Ooh. I asked, why did DOJ hide the William Barr report? There's the report. Changes to this report or improvements to this report, and there's something that was missing or something that they wanted taken out. They wanted something taken out of it. So why did they want something taken out of the DOJ report? Why did the DOJ want something taken out of the Barr report? For their independence, but that still doesn't make any sense. Because here it's talking about choices for their success or their widespread independence here. Let me see. Let me ask this. So I asked, what is Merrick Garland going to do at the DOJ? Well, that's not a good ending. If you look here, because it ends with cross. It looks like the community or the party or a network here suffers. There's going to be some successful interviews or hearings about some sort of a risk or a gamble that was done, but the public ultimately suffers. But it's almost like it's a game too, because you got Clover right in the middle. Because here you have success, here you have opportunity, but then it suffers here. Let me see. So the public suffers and the party suffers. Great. Okay. Let me see. So I asked if Merrick Garland would what is it? Accomplish anything substantial. This is looking like a yes, but it's not a huge thing. It's ending here with the clover. There's going to be perhaps some sort of satisfaction with perhaps a promise or an agreement that was made. That gets lucky here, or there's a little bit of hope or opportunity for it, but it's not something huge. It's like this is like a small win. Let's see. So I asked, what is DOJ going to accomplish under Merrick Garland? Hey, JLo. There is a report that has to do with energy or some sort of success that is classified that may be delivered to the public. Or it also, hold on. Okay, so one way to read this is some sort of report that has to do with energy that perhaps is classified, or we'll be hearing about it because there's knowledge is being delivered to the public. There's also something here in regards to some sort of a report or the results, successful results of some sort of a project that is going to be delivered to the public. So this could be something civil here with a large group of people because there's success that's delivered here. And the results, knowledge here, or some sort of a project, and then the public. So I'm thinking maybe, I don't have crossroads here, so I can't say voting rights, but perhaps something to do with civil rights, perhaps, because this has to do with the community, people. Okay. I asked what type of report this was. This has to do with the foreign financial institution as well. Yep. So, let's see. I asked if Joe Biden and the Democrats are going to get anything done. There's going to be just a bunch of fighting, stalemate. Everything goes back to the House. So either the literal House, like House of Representatives, or like the administration itself, the White House. But this is comfort. Here. There's going to be multiple bills that are going to have to be voted on, and look out for 22, the next elections. Because here's the public. Here. There's the mail and the ballots, and then there's your choices, several choices. So it could be saying several reports that are coming out of committees, several reports that, or several bills for the public that come to a vote. But it's almost like it's like it happens here, but then here, if this is the Senate, because this is a large body, the bills, and then it's divided and split. Let me see. Let's ask about the filibuster. I'm not lagging on my end. If I am, maybe refresh the page. Let's see. Will the filibuster be reformed? It's looking like it sticks. There's something creative here. That is documented. This could be like maybe the rules of it. And here it is, persistent. It has fortitude. It sticks. It has fortitude. So they might have to get creative about how they work this thing. I asked if Merrick Garland has something up his sleeve. Doesn't look like it. It looks like he's perhaps looking at alternatives, choices, and options for new results or small results here. This is neutral, neutral, neutral. So we shall see. We shall see. So let's ask about Weiselberg. Will Weiselberg stay loyal to Trump? No. Nope. He'll sing. Because they're going to bring down a powerful hammer on his ass. He'll end up singing. And it looks like because it has to do with finances here with the bear. He'll sing about the finances, but they're going to crush his ass. Who's the guy that was under Weiselberg that just went to the grand jury? Does anybody recall his name? Coney? McConney? Okay. I just asked if McConney would testify against Weiselberg. Not only Weiselberg, but about the children that knew. There's more than one child here. 2 boys and a girl. Why? Child, Jack of Spades, Crossroads, Queen of Diamond, multiple children's, and their knowledge and what they worked on. That's a yes. So, I don't know. So I asked, how is Ivanka Trump feeling right now? Very, 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 very burdened. But it's burden that is deeply rooted here. And it goes for a long time. She may be trying to seek perhaps some sort of spiritual counsel here, because this would be like religion, and this would be like a spirit counselor or a spiritual counselor or religious counselor this way. Perhaps some sort of just maybe therapy, with the lilies here. But she ain't feeling too hot. Poor Barbie. Let's ask about Don Jr. Oof, he's under pressure too. He's out of luck. And he's under pressure. Let me see. Or it could be literally a mountain of fun stuff back here. So he may be buried in a mountain of cocaine or under a mountain of cocaine. So let's see. Ooh. He's got fox and broom and whip. Fox and broom and whip. Looking over his shoulder. Getting ready for a fight here. Sneaky, sneaky. Perhaps feels he doesn't have anybody he can trust here because he's suspicious. The man is suspicious here. Let's ask about I eat paste. How does I eat paste feel with all of these investigations going on? The family's in for a shitstorm. Confusion, hesitation, doubt. Who has the competition for the dumbest man in orbit? Are you talking about that Louis Gohmert guy, Johnny? About if we can change the rotation of the moon to or whatever to combat climate change? I cannot believe that man keeps getting elected, man. He is such an idiot. He is such an idiot. He took Eric's place. You're too funny, Johnny. You're too funny. Well, this is looking like he ain't doing too hot either. He's seeing the shitstorm on its way to the little family and the little properties and everybody else. Oh man. Yeah, I saw that, Renee. He's out of his damn mind. Ooh. That's not good. Oof. I asked about Spanky. That's what he gets. That man ain't doing well. At all. At all. Like, that is no bueno. That is no bueno. This is an illness that is extremely troublesome for him. But at the end of the day, he's still looking for fame. So he is absolutely emotionally unbalanced here. He's got a serious issue, health issue here. This is serious illness. That's very, very bad. Emotional disturbances. But all he cares about is fame. He's seriously ill. Do I care? Nope. Let's see about Malankia over there. Let me see. Melania, how is she feeling? Sneaky, suspicious. And then there's a health institution here. Like a hospital. But how is she feeling? Isolated. Isolated here. There's FBI there. Because this is somebody covert. That's government and institutions. Isolated. Also, this could also be something about like the Trump company here. Suspicious and growing isolated. Isolated. Prison time for you, lady. I'm not saying she's going to prison. But this is also being smart, conniving, manipulative, sneaky. You know? So, yeah, she needs her kidneys rotated. Oh, God. Let's see. There might be news of another covert hack or an attack. Okay. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can see this. So if this is domestic, then another significant hack or an attack that's abusive, that was covert. Let me see here. Also, something here in regards to some sort of satisfactory solution around energy. There is a very significant institution, perhaps like a corporation or something, a government. Here's a hack that's delivered. News of a cut, news of a hack, something like that. Something that significant or important energy. Abusing energy here. And suspicious contracts or investigations into contracts or promises or resolutions. This is a false gift here. So there's this could be the house delivers some news. Also, the administration perhaps brings some news about an investigation this way. Let me see. Oh, hey, Jenny. How are you? It's almost like there's another hack. And it could, and there's something here around energy. I don't see money. I don't have bear here. So it's not like resources or this is like energy. There's significant energy here. Very important energy, a very important corporation or an institution, and it's under attack this way. And then here in the middle, you have someone delivering something very that cuts like a hack. Significant rupture and abusive and manipulation. Yeah, it's like a hack because it's if this is here domestic, there's significant rupture and abusive manipulation here. But what's funny is I don't have stars. This is also weapons. This could also be saying something here domestically about another significant one of these. I'm not going to say, but it's the norm here in America. You can't go to work. You can't go to the grocery store. You can't go to the mall. You can't go to a concert. You can't go anywhere without these people going wacko because this is weapons. And this could be read as a place of work here. So that's another way to read this. And then something that's being delivered by government here to try to have some sort of resolution. But there's this here. This is weapons, and this is something covert and also work. So we could be looking at another one of those, perhaps at a workplace. News of sort of a hack. Also, perhaps more news about domestic people here that act covertly, that make agreement, go visit places like a capital with weapons here. We may be hearing more of that. Significant energy here and government abuse or institutional abuse or institutional fighting. Lord Jesus. Okay, hold on. Let me rewrite this down. Twenty-one, 4, 7, 31, 15, 27, 33, 26, 16, 35, 36, 1, 2, 3, 3, 34, 38. There's 12, 9, 11, and 10. All right, let me get my my little tiles. Give me 1 second. All righty. Okie dokie. Get this out of the way. I'm gonna put these on tiles because I just threw a grand tableau, and these are too large to fit in to the screen. So let's see here. Alrighty. Alrighty, so we got 18, 29, 20, 17, 's down here. This is here. This here. 17, 21, 15, 16, 3. And 32, 25, 14, 4. There's 4, 4, 27, 35, 34, 22, 13, 13, 2, 19, 7, 33, 36, 30, 24, 31, 26, 23, 8, and it's 12, 9, 11, and 10. Okay, let me see if you guys can see this. Thank you, Janny. Can you guys see that? Maybe I should move it up a little bit higher. Maybe, hold on, give me 1 second. Let's see, go back over here. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm trying to get the glare off as much as I can. Okay, I hope that's a little bit better. I hope that's a little bit better. So I just did a grand tableau on Ivanka for a year. You can't see the line of fate because it falls down here. You can't see it. I'll let you guys know what it is when I get there. So for those of you that are new, this is a grand tableau. The grand tableaus are spreads that are reserved for the Lennies, which is what I use, and also the Kipper system. There is the option of doing an 8x4 plus 4, which is what I have done here, which is 8 across, 4 down. The plus 4 comes from the cards down at the very bottom, 4 cards, which is the line of fate. And there is a 9x4, which is 9 across and 4 rows down. I do not use directionality. I can't, but I just won't do it. I stick to where the significator lands is the present. Everything to the left is the past. Everything to the right is the future. You can use directionality with the Grand Tableau in the Lenormands. Just make sure that your deck supports it. And what I mean by that is make sure that the male card and female card face each other. The French cartomancy deck, both male and female face the same direction because although this is a German system, it has been adapted to the French way of reading. So the French don't really do too much directionality. However, for those that follow the German, which this system was originally German, you can use directionality, but like I said, make sure that your deck supports it. So, for example, let me give you a quick example. This is my destroyed Lenormand, and this one comes with 2 male and 2 female. Okay, you see how both of these face each other? And then these 2 face each other. It's the same cards. Okay, so when your deck is like this, you can use directionality, meaning if the woman faces left, you read everything to the left of her. If you're using directionality, if the man faces right, you could technically look at the man and read him. If he faces left, read from him to the left. I don't do that just so I don't confuse myself. But what I was saying about your deck, make sure that they support it. The French cartomancy deck, you do not have an option of male and female. They're just like this. So if you were to try to use directionality, you wouldn't be able to because these 2 would at all points would be facing in the same direction. And what I mean by that is kind of like in Kipper. Kipper is very heavy on directionality. Kipper does not use the techniques that is used in the Lenormand when doing grand tableaus. The Kipper is direction, direction, direction. So with these 2, if you're using directionality and they're both facing each other, this is a cue right here that this is an auspicious placement. Why? Because they're both facing each other. If they land like this, that is an inauspicious placement, meaning this relationship is not in good standing. Why? They don't see eye to eye. So with, for instance, the French cartomancy deck, where the male and female both face the same direction, you're going to have to look at placement and distance. Okay, so the Lennies, grand tableau, first rule of thumb, look at the significator because this system is derived on the rule of near and far. Okay, so this is the woman that we're reading on. She lands all the way up here. This is her present. This is her past. That is what this over here to the right of her is what is to come. Again, I do not use directionality. At least I did not for this spread. So the way that the houses work is the houses are positions, meaning if I were to take this entire deck from card number 31 through 36 and put them in order, house 1 would be Rider, house 2 would be Clover, house 3 would be Ship, house 4 would be House, house 5 would be Tree, so on and so forth. Those are stationary. They do not move. All it does is add nuance to the reading. It adds more depth to the reading. What does change is the cards that lay on those houses. So when I say, you know, house 5 or house 6, well, I'm referring to the position of the card, not exactly the card itself. So let's see here. Is that clear enough, or should I clarify some more for anybody out there that may not have gotten all of that? Did everybody understand that, or do I need to, for anybody that's new? Okay, you guys got it? Okay, because I know that there's some new people here and that may not understand grand tableaus. Okay, so we're looking at the position of the woman. She lands in the second house of Clover. She's all the way at the top of the spread, meaning that she feels very much in control of her situation. Had she been somewhere else in the spread, like for instance down here where the sun is, she would have this entire weight of this entire read on her shoulders, out of control, overwhelmed. Had she been at the very end of the tableau or close to the end of the tableau, not only does she have 16 cards above her head that is on her mind, she also has all this stuff, baggage behind her that she's moving towards, okay? But she lands in a very auspicious position. Why? She lands at the very top of the tableau, at the very beginning of the tableau as well. She lands in the house of Clover, meaning she's pretty optimistic, not on the outside, perhaps socially. So what do we have here? We have Dog in the house of Rider, Woman in the house of Clover, Garden in the house of Ship. Okay, so there's something here in regards to news of a friend or an advisor that has to do with her getting lucky or her opportunities, and then something around an organization. Also, quite possibly a trip abroad to a different location. Garden lands in the house of Ship, so this could be a foreign organization or a distant organization. She's got Storks in the house of House, which could be talking about a change of residence or improvements to the home, okay? On the diagonal here, we're seeing, and again, significant improvements to the home because of damages, okay? She lands up here. Kushner, her husband, her most significant other, is here. So even though she may perhaps, and this is also not only talking about news about a friend that has to do with the organization, it's her trying to be friendly within her social sphere to elevate her popularity or elevate her social standing, if that makes any sense here. Okay, along with upgrading and changing her home, or perhaps, you know, thinking about a change of residence. But she lands in the house of Clover. Underneath her, we're seeing that there is, however, some serious confusion and perhaps trouble, quite possibly around a child and her husband this way. There's also confusion and trouble in regards to her siblings because she's got the siblings right here and how the siblings are involved in this organization up here down this line. Okay. So for her, trying to make friends, moving into the social sphere, elevating her social standing, also news about a friend, and perhaps the inner workings of the organization itself and home improvements. She's very emotionally duressed, though. She ain't there. She's got the moon, which is your emotions, your creativity, your honors. Well, she's got clouds right next to it. So it's kind of like, oh, is my screen all blurry? Oh, there it goes. So there are some emotional uncertainties, and a lot of uncertainties around the promises that she's made, or the promises that she's involved with, that have to do with the agreements that how she is involved with agreements within an organization and her agreements to work for the family. So sort of like a family business thing. That's causing her some emotional wackadoodles, and also having a tarnished reputation here. Because the moon is how you are seen by others, your reputation, your honors. Well, it's got clouds right next to it. Not a good place for it to be. And that's affecting how she's seen perhaps in social circles. And the social circles are distant. You've got garden in the house of ship. We can see here that she's under that, and there's confusion and problems perhaps with the child and her husband. There's something here where she may also be uncertain or unsure about investigators and people investigating an institution as well as investigating the organization. You have Fox in the house of Tower. Tower is right underneath. So this is talking, and then Rider in the house of Man, Sun in the house of Woman. Okay, so we're looking at upgrading and elevating the investigations into the organization, as well as quite possibly upgrading the investigations into the company itself, and news that comes out about that is delivered to this man via this person here, whoever this friend or co-worker is. Okay. There's also something here about not only looking at her relationship to the organization and the institution here, they're also looking at problems with properties that have been lied about this way, because there's a mountain of debt. You have Snake in the house of Mountain right over here on top of the house. Serious problems in the house, betrayals, and then it exposes her this way down this column. Over here, you have significant information and financial documents that are coming out that have been kept secret. But there's also quite possibly something to do with finances that are very successful for her, but they're far away. They're overseas where they can't be touched. So, and you got Fish here. This is finances. This is more like your independent money. Okay, so this could be something, I don't know if this is like electronic funds of some sort. So I don't even know what Bitcoin is, but maybe perhaps Bitcoin down that way. But there's the significant financial documents that have been hidden and concealed this way. Over here, you see that there is something that is widespread that reaches its goal, but it causes a lot of suffering and severe anxiety down this way. And then a journey for independence and peace comes to an end for her, like emotional ruin. And also her reputation is ruined over the next year. For her, she lands in the house of Clover. She knights to Clover. So she's perhaps not taking any of this very seriously, thinking that it's a game. She's got choices and decisions to make, and she thinks that she can be quite smart and witty, and weasel her way in and out of things. The problem is that there's multiple documents here And the documents show that there is problems, there was guilt, and widespread lies. Perhaps also news of someone lying in testimony. Also something with her siblings and her husband. You can't see this, so let me try to bring this down. Can you guys see that now? Her siblings here and her husband here meeting. How this person went to a meeting with a sibling where at a tower, and then that is under investigation over here, down this column up here. Let me see if I can get this back up. Nope. Let me see. Okay, that's much better. All right, so yeah, she's going to have some problems advancing socially this way. If that is what she's trying to do, because this is social progression here, but she's delayed and blocked here. Weaseling around and perhaps interviewing with investigators this way too, because Foxland's in the House of Birds. And something that may be said in testimony will be found to be a significant lie. Because you have birds in the House of Key. Key goes back to Crossroads, which is, where is that Crossroads? Right here in the House of Storks. That goes here to the house. And then to the child, dog, writer, man. Yeah, so it's almost like a male employee, male coworker, or male friend of the family's verbal testimony, evidence of falsified or false documents, and also how they were able to secure finances over the long term. But she doesn't appear to be very worried about any of this stuff that's going on. Why? Not only by position of where she's at up here. So she's basically pretty much in control here. If this is not Weiselberg, this could also be a man that is advising her and being very creative about the decisions that she makes here. So this could also be, even though Tower is not close, this could be perhaps some sort of a lawyer. Okay. There may be lawyers here for the organization itself. However, it does not represent her. It represents the organization here, not her. Okay. So I'm not sure if she's thinking that the lawyers, if they have lawyers for Trump Org or Trump Towers or whatever, that she would fall under their protection. No, because those lawyers are here. She has this one here. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. She's hoping that her opportunity or her luck changes for her family, but she comes under exposure for her knowledge of the losses here. Do I see charges for her over the next year? Let's see. Well, she lands in the House of Clover. Clover's in the House of Tower. Tower's in the House of Garden, which goes back to Ship, Coffin, Moon, Bouquet, Fish, Stars, Snake, Mountain, Tree, Letter, Fox, Birds, Key, Crossroads, Stork, House, Child, Dog, Writer, Man, Book, Lilies, Heart, Ring, Whip, Anchor, Bear, Clouds, Scythe, And cross, mice, sun, woman. Yeah, but with that said, charges, yes. However, not anytime soon. This is something that drags out, and the suffering is long term. Why do I say that? Well, I followed the chain of houses to come to that conclusion, but also by the rule of near and far. She's up here, cross is over here. That suffering is long term, and it's widespread. I mirror her to the stars. She thinks she's going to be successful and perhaps go on a new direction, has perhaps hopes and dreams of going on some sort of vacation or going far away from the problem. Here it ends, this box here ends with cross, so it's widespread suffering and pain and guilt and burdens and sacrifice. And then here, sacrifices that are small, or sacrifice of children, or sacrifice of a new friend. Okay? The further away cross is, the more long-term the suffering. And also it's got lilies right next to it. Lilies talks about something that needs a very long time. It needs maturity. So this is almost like the choices that she made that were perhaps small or new, to kind of take a risk and a gamble for, just play stupid and naive, like, who's Weiselberg? I don't, who, why, what's his name? I don't, yeah, I don't know who he is. No. Playing stupid ain't gonna cut it. Okay. So those lies are significant here. They get exposed, and the suffering matures. It takes a long time. Okay. So it's like this thing gets dragged out. It gets dragged out perhaps over a while. You got Tower Knighting over to whip, legal arguments, legal disputes. And the legal arguments and disputes are in regards to the organization. And how she's perhaps trying to distance herself, which again causes her problems with her not being able to do what she wants to do and be a social climber and be accepted by the public and go to parties and yada, yada, yada. The more she gets exposed, or the more light is shown on the organization itself. Let's see here. Investigating the family, and the heart of the tableau, investigating the family, a fraudulent family, fraudulent property. The properties are troublesome and lies. And the government here, lying to the government. That's the heart of the tableau. So it's like her friends are distant. Dog in the house of writer and ship over here. Those are movements. Friends are distant. There's an ending here to her reputation. Absolute ruin. And then all she has left is the love in her marriage. Heart in the house of ring. That's it. And then center to the tableau is fraudulent family, fraudulent properties, and then properties that are liars, or a family of liars here. And then here, lying to government, if you read it like this. Here's FBI. And then here is trouble with the law and significant long-term suffering this way. Suffering that matures and just plays out over a long period of time. In regards to position, she's over positioned to her siblings. She's up here. Siblings are way beneath her. So it's like they're not even a concern. And if she has to, she'll throw I eat paste and what's his face? I like drugs the one that has an addiction, because here, this is her line of fate. Okay. This is her line of fate, which is kind of like the last word in the tableau. It's birds, bouquet, whip, and scythe. So testimony or negotiating some sort of an invitation or gifts of money. A significant testimony, because bird lands in the house of key. Okay, so several significant testimonies in regards to how money was gifted, um, um, how money was packaged up and just, I don't know, it was gifted. Persistent abuse and then sudden suffering. Persistent abuse by whip being in the house of anchor, scythe being in the house of cross. So it's testimony from witnesses here, birds in the house of key. And what does birds have over it? Tree. Could be siblings. Several. There are several witnesses that flip and turn on the family, because it goes birds in the house of key, key to the crossroads. Okay, so significant testimony, negotiations, conversations. Significant from multiple people, key in the house of crossroads. Okay, several testimonies. Crossroads goes back to storks. Changes on the family here. So it comes from people flipping on the family. And then here you got storks in the house of house. When we were talking about this earlier, we were saying that, you know, there are several ways to read these. These are multi-layered. So I was talking about her trying to find friends and go to parties and elevate herself socially. Also, perhaps upgrades or changes to her family. But when you read the context of as you continue to read the Grand Tableau and you look at how everything is linked through the chain of houses, well, she flips on the family. Birds or storks in the house of house. What's right underneath of it? House. She flips on the family, and then there's significant stress and thievery and losses here. And then siblings are below her. Even her husband is below her. I could read the clouds quite possibly as her father. Clouds is the king of clubs. And the king of clubs, let me see, is in the house of scythe, which goes to cross, which goes to mice. Which goes to sun, and then woman, then clover. I would think this would be her father. He's in the house of scythe though, and if this is her father, she's over him. Literally, she's over him. And then you got bear in the house of clouds. So there's problems here that are very dangerous that come from finances. And here is a pileup of debt this way. Okay, it looks like she has been smart to perhaps stash some of that away, far away, this way. But the house underneath is clouds. So this could also be, and clouds is under her. So I'm also going to read this as perhaps the significant trouble that her father's under financially. Okay, and then tower also knights here to garden. This is like a public institution. And tower is in the house of garden. So a public institution as well. So it's kind of like, and then where is... What's weird is, okay, public office, or also isolated from the social circles as well. Okay. But what's funny here is I don't see taxes, because bear is way over here, which is finances and resources. These two together would be like a bank. Fish is way over here, and fish is far from garden, which would be public funds. So I don't see something for her in regards to taxes. For her specifically, it may be more about fraud at an institution, isolation for her from the public or from socializing, and as well as fraud and lies in regards to perhaps some sort of a building that was for the public. So I don't know if that would be like Trump org or Trump companies. I'm not quite sure. It could be both. There's a university here, or institutional secrets, and then the results of it here, the financial results, significant secret or significant knowledge. Book in the house of lilies. Let me see. If I read this as Melania, this is the Queen of Clubs. Queen of Clubs is in the House of Mountain. They'll expose something about Melania as well, quite possibly. Because if this is Melania, and I look down Melania's lines, there's a huge, ginormous problem in the family as well as with property. And she may betray here and be exposed. If I read this as Melania, there's something here in regards to, from Melania, a false marriage, and investigating the family and the results, the records, and also results and records and documents and mail that is suspicious, because you have letter in the House of Fox. I don't know if Melania had an official title at Trump org, or if she did something specifically for Trump org, but down this line of influence, it's like she perhaps worked at a party this way. Okay, if I read Fox's work, and those documents or the results are suspicious, letter in the House of Fox. She's going to play a key role here, but she's isolated from Melania. But she has knowledge of everything that went on, and she also has knowledge of their history. Book in the House of Lilies. Lilies is also the King of Spades. This could be in regards to a man. There's another man here, King of Diamonds. So perhaps people that managed money. This one here is more like a manager. This one here, that's someone that is senior. Let's see. There's a lot of fighting and arguing in her marriage as well. If I were to bring his marriage, it's in the House of Whip. It's in the House of Whip. But she's going to take the first opportunity she can because she's in the House of Clover. She's looking to win. She's looking to win and get lucky. And Clover's in the House of Tower. She's looking to win and get lucky. We're at court. Where's Tower? In the House of Garden. But there's legal arguments down here. So I think I'm going to put this away for now, you guys. It's 10 o'clock and I got to get to bed. Peanut's got to wake up at 3. So I'm going to go to sleep. But I did take all of this on my notes so we can revisit this again. I'll try to come back on tomorrow night to go through this because there's plenty here that I still haven't gotten into. It's just a bit late. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, the heart of this tableau is no bueno. She's going to have legal trouble, investigating the family and legal trouble, but it's something that drags out. For her, okay? And it ruins her reputation. May also put her into some like severe depression. She's got Coffin in the House of Sun, or Coffin in the House of Moon, which is your emotions, it's your creativity, your honors, your reputation, how you're seen. And friends are distant. She doesn't have any. But she's looking to get lucky, and she will do whatever she has to do to throw everybody under the bus and save her own ass. So I will come back and try to finish this up tomorrow because we've only just scratched the surface of it. There's quite a bit to get to. I want to say thank you to everybody who was here tonight. I'm sorry I've been kind of MIA. I'm still recovering. So I'll try to come back on tomorrow. When's the full moon eclipse? When is the full moon eclipse, you guys? In 4 hours? Oh, it's on. Yeah. Dang. Well, let me clean up my crap so I can go out there and look at the moon real quick before I go to bed. So thank you, everybody. Like I said, I will try to come back on tomorrow. We'll see how I'm doing. I need to stare at this a little bit more, probably tomorrow when my brain is refreshed. Thank you, everyone, so much for hanging out tonight. I hope I was clear enough on grand tableaus and how they work for the new folks. That was just a very quick and dirty. Also, the Lennies that I use, this system is known as the Petite Lenormand. There's also the Petite Jeu, which is the small game, which is 36 cards, which is what I use. There's also the Grand Jeu, which is 56 cards, which I do not have. So thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. I hope that was entertaining. And I will see you lovely, beautiful people again, hopefully soon and tomorrow. All right. Bye, everybody.